Well, hello, fellow stargazers. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful day behind me here. And the reason I dragged you out here is because I realized that even though I've done a solar astronomy video, I didn't actually get to show you guys the sun. And since you guys have been asking to see things through the telescope more, I figured today would be a great opportunity, because as you can see, it's a perfect day. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and that makes me very happy. I think tonight will definitely be a Boardwalk Astronomy night, and I'll probably have a new video for you guys coming up. In the next one, I'm planning on showing you guys how to find the Andromeda Galaxy, M31, the great galaxy in the Andromeda constellation. Now, a lot of you have been suggesting things that I should do videos on lately, so I want to kind of open the floor further and tell you about a couple of ideas that I'm going to do and let you guys just kind of suggest what else that you'd like me to do. So I figured I'd do a video on scouting out a good location for stargazing, and I also thought I'd do a little video on light pollution, because that is the bane of every astronomer's existence. But right now what I want to do is I want to show you this. It's something that I recommend every astronomer get. This is my solar filter. I've shown it to you before, but one thing I've never done is shown you what the sun looks like through it. And I'm going to do it in two ways. I'm going to show it just through this by itself, and then I'm going to put it on the telescope, and we'll see what the sun looks like today. So we'll see if I can get a good view here. Might have to turn the macro on, I'm not sure. But as you can see, the solar filter kind of acts like a mirror. It blocks out anything but the absolute brightest light. Now if we point it up here, that's the sun. The significance of it really can't be said enough. You spend all night trying to look at stars that are just these little points of distant light so far away. But during the day, you have the closest star of all to look at, so you get to see a real star up close and personal from, of course, a safe distance of about 96 million miles or so. So, alright, I'm going to stop the camera now and try hooking this up to the telescope, and we'll see if we can get a good image of it. Alright, so now we have the solar filter on and the telescope ready to go and look at the sun. Now, if you're ever doing this and you're showing people the sun, you might want to take the finder scope off. I haven't taken it off, I've just left the caps on because I'm not ill-informed enough to try to look through the finder scope. You never want to look at the sun through any optical equipment. You don't even want to look at it with your naked eye by itself with no protection. It can really damage your eye if you do that, and if you try to view the sun through this thing without the solar filter, it will literally burn your retinas right out. So, don't do that. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I've got my 25mm eyepiece in here, and that'll give us, what you're going to see when you look through here is you're going to see the entire sun from one end to another. It's not just where the field of vision in the telescope ends, that's the whole sun. We'll line it up a bit more here. There we go. So there it is. And I'm not certain if you guys can see it, but there is a sunspot in the sort of the upper right middle portion of the sun. It's really small, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make it out on this camera. And by really small, of course, I mean that it could probably swallow the entire planet by itself. So you just saw the sun through the solar filter without the aid of the telescope, and now you're seeing it through the telescope with the aid of a solar filter. And it is a grand sight to see. But I always tell people when they look, that's a star. That's what a star looks like up close. Mine is a true color filter, so you're through our atmosphere anyway, you're getting the correct color of the sun. So I'm sure you all noticed that in that image, you couldn't see the sky around the sun in its normal blue color. It looked black. And that's because the solar filter is blocking out all but the brightest light from the sun itself, and it's getting rid of the glare completely so that you can get a good look at the outer layer of the sun, which is called the photosphere, at a safe distance, of course, of 96 million miles away. So that's pretty cool. That's as close as you can get on an Earth-based telescope to seeing the sun for how it really looks, seeing a star the way it actually is. Now, a little note about lining up your shot. Without the aid of the finder scope, it can be even trickier than it normally is with the finder scope to find things, even something as big and bright as the sun. If you've got a solar filter on there, you're looking for a relatively non-luminous yellow ball in a sea of black that is the sky. So there's a little trick in case that gets too hard so that you're not standing there hunched over hurting your back for 5 minutes. And here it is. What you want to do is you don't use the finder scope, of course, because that would be a big no-no unless you had a solar filter on here too. What you want to use is the shadow of the telescope itself. You want to get it as round as possible, because that means that it's pointing directly at the sun. If it looks like this, that's wrong. If it looks like this, that's wrong. If it looks like this, wrong again. And if it looks like this, that is wrong. If it looks like this, well, you're just a smart son of a bitch, aren't you? So there you go. That's a little trick to line it up without hurting your eyes. Ugh. Being out here in this light. It's lucky I'm only half vampire. Look at this. This is funny. Everybody slows down because they think I'm taking radar or something. You poor sons of bitches. You don't even know what a telescope is!